To use the correct algorithm, you may need to use the correct data type, not just the data structures. For example, to do in-place replacement in Python, you cannot use string because strings are immutable in Python. First, you have to convert that into a list to do the in-place operations. Day 5 of Leetcode75. Reverse vowels of a string. So given an input string something like ice cream, you just need to identify every vowel in that particular string and then swap them, and then you have to reverse only those vowels. So I goes to the end, the place of a, and a comes to the place of I, and e goes to this place of e, and this e comes here. Similarly for input number 2, there are 1 2 3 4 vowels are there, and then they are going to swap their places. This e goes to the end and this e comes to the beginning. Similarly, this e go here and o comes back here. This is the expected output. We are going to maintain two pointers. This is going to be I and this is going to be j, and until we see a vowel we are going to increment I. So L is not a vowel, so increment I here. So I is pointing to E now. E is a vowel, stop at this point. And until you see a vowel, decrement j. But currently E is already a vowel, so j stays there, and until I less than j. If this condition is true, swap both of them. Remove this E and keep this E here, and remove this E and keep that E there. Do the operation again until you see a vowel, increment I. So I goes to this place, E is a vowel, it stays there. And until you see a vowel, decrement J. So decrementing it is reaching D, D is not a vowel, decrement it again, now it is at O, O is a vowel, J stays there. We are again checking, I is less than J, so do the swap, and this becomes O and O becomes E. Do that again. Increment I until you see a vowel, goes to T. T is not a vowel. Increment again, goes to C. C is not a vowel. Increment again. It goes to O, which is currently E. It is a vowel. I stays there. And similarly, decrement J. J is currently at O. We are decrementing to C. It is not a vowel. Decrementing to T, it is not a vowel, and decrementing to E, which is currently O, it is a vowel and J stays there. At this point, this is I and this is J. J and I have crossed over. So this particular check is going to be wrong. I less than J is false. So we are breaking the while loop and we have completed the reversal. Now we can simply return this string which had an in-place replacement as an output. Let's go for the implementation.